G'day guys, how's it going? Alright, in this video we're going to quickly run through all the adventure dual sport riding gear that I use while out riding on bloody Max the DR650. Majority of this stuff I've been using it for about 7 years. So what I'm going to do is grab all this stuff, a few extra bits and pieces so I can give you some comparisons. At the end of this video I'll also run through for new guys getting into the off-road. Do I have to buy all the expensive stuff first to work out whether I like? I'll run through some of that stuff for you guys. I'm going to grab all this, take it over to the garage, meet you over there. Rightio guys, so the first thing is obviously helmet. I'm not the smartest man in the world, so I've got to protect the old bloody noggin. Don't want to get any more bloody sillier. So I've got a Bell, that's an MX-9 Adventure helmet. I've got another one here, and I don't use this one. I bought this by mistake, but this is the Bell MX-9 helmet. I don't think motocross, maybe, I can't remember, but the main difference between these two is this one does not have the visor. The Adventure MX-9 has the visor. So that's what I use. Why do you want the visor? When you're heading along on the highway, getting to those off-roads, because I always run with goggles, the visor comes in very handy from all that air rushing in, drying out your lips, making you cold, or making you hot. Cool. Rightio, so the next thing I'm going to show you is my gloves. I'll bring you down. Rightio, so the gloves that I use the majority of the time are these, and they're Fox, I think they call them dirt paws. They're very thin, not a lot of protection, but I just love the feeling that you get when riding with these. Alistair got me onto them. I used to normally run with just a pair of, you know, I don't know, no brand, if there's a brand or something on them, just, you know, leather gloves. These are perforated, but as soon as I went to these, never went back to them. On cruiser, I do, but on the, you know, dual sport adventure, that's what I use. These are my winter gloves. They're supposed to be waterproof. They used to be, they're not anymore. But what I've recently changed over now to, so these are out. This is now what I use if I'm adventure riding or dual sport riding. Summer gloves, well, pretty much all year round. It's only this in winter I'll have these. Now these are, I don't know, these are gotta be 20-year-old. They're mongrel bloody, these are ski gloves. So they're waterproof and they're just super bloody warm. So when I'm on the highways or back roads getting to the off-road stuff, this is what I'll use. Now obviously they're big and bulky, so you don't have that tactile feeling. That's the train going through, by the way. And then I cross over and put these on when I'm on the tracks. Now, as a side note, last night when I was just researching, I was going to start trying to get prices, and it's just too bloody hard getting prices. If you want to know how much they are, do a search on Google for whatever brands they are, and that should pop up. Now remember, a lot of this stuff is old, so they may not make that particular model, but the helmets, they still make them. These, they still make these. These are like $36.95 or $39. They're like 40 bucks. I've now just, well, look, and I ended up buying, cause if I put these on, just as an example, as you can see, I've got holes. So I thought, bugger it, I'll treat myself, get myself a new pair. What I've done is, there's O'Neill, which is another motorcycle brand, and they look very, very similar to this, except that they have the, I think, doesn't matter. I'm going to try them out. They're $26.95. A lot cheaper. They look pretty much the same. I'm not brand loyal or anything. I just get what's cheap and what I would think is decent quality. Going to do the same bloody job. Boots. Rightio, so I have got a pair, so I've had these for 7 years, or about 7 years. So these are Former TX Terrain, and I think it's Series MX. Series MX. I will be, when I get my new pair, I'll be buying obviously the latest brand of these. I love these boots. I can walk around in them if I need to because they have that little swivel point there. It gets squeaky at times, but you can fix that by putting like a silicone spray on there to stop that from squeaking. They're easy to put on with this strap system. They're not waterproof. They're not waterproof anymore. This membrane here all the way down there is just kind of like withered away. So water, you go through bloody puddles, you'll get water in. I've had to drill holes and all that kind of stuff, but I feel really safe in these boots. You know, they've got this big ass protection. They're the MX range, so really strong boot. Now remember, I'm going to be running through at the end of it with like boots like that. There's a plethora of all different brands and types. Basically, you get what you think, whether you like the looks or whether you like the brand or whether you know, whatever it is, whatever suits you. It's like when you buy a motorbike. If you look at a motorbike and you go, yeah, you know, and it spins your wheels, that's the bike you buy. Not because, you know, it's got half a horsepower more than the other bike. Do you know what I mean? Cool. Righto, before I get onto the jacket and the pants, I'll just quickly show you that. That is just one of those, what do you call it, multi-tube scarf. Buddy, have I got morning hair? I'm sure I've got morning hair. Whack that over there. It can keep you warm, it can keep you cool if you wet it. It can, you know, do that for warm or for dust. You can bloody wear it like that as a hat. Multi-tube scarf. Brilliant bloody invention. Righto, jacket and pants. Rightio, so this is I've got a mix match of brands when I got these. So these riding pants are RST, and I think, what's it say, Pro Series. And then the jacket is a dry rider, so that's my jacket there. Dry rider, and I think this is a climate. It says something about a bloody climate somewhere. I'm sure it does. Come on, Mark, stop bloody wasting time. I don't know, it's a climate something. Okay, so firstly, these have shoulder pads, elbow pads, and a back pad in them. I think that's it. Both these, the pants and the jacket, have 3 layers. So there is the outer layer, which is a mesh. So if it's really hot, you just take all the layers out and you just have this mesh top and bottom. So just, yeah, you get that airflow coming in. Then you can, as you can see there, that is a rain-proof layer. Pants are identical, have a rain, and you can just unzip them, remove it off, and just have the mesh. If it's raining or you want to block some of the cold, you add that on there, and then, oh, so actually, sorry, the pants have hip pads and knee guards in them. Same thing with the rain liner. And then the third layer to these are the comfort, I suppose comfort or warmth bloody layer. So you can see that bit of a thick quilted type thing. Keeps you absolutely toasty warm when you've got those in there. Now I don't use them very, very often. It would be only if I'm going to be traveling all day on the highways in the really cold that I'd most probably use that. What I do, instead of using the comfort liners, I have, that's Sherpa, it's merino wool, but basically they're just a, what do you call it, thermal, so I call them my ninja pants. And then for the top, I just have, and this is something that I use for around the campfire when I get out of my gear, it's just a thin hoodie, so they can go under. So instead of using the quilted stuff, because then you've got to zip them out and all that kind of stuff, they're not multi-use type thing. basically just layer up under, because then you can take them off and you can regulate blah blah blah. So anyway, that's what I use. Rightio guys, so just to summarize, here it is. So jacket, pants, gloves, helmet and goggles, and riding boots, and then I can throw in the multi-tube, the thermal pants for the bloody underneath there, and then just a cheap old bloody hoodie for underneath that, and that is it. Nothing more, nothing less. Rightio, so now for the new people, or the people that don't have a huge amount of money to throw at something new, and you're not sure that you're going to bloody want to, you know, maybe you're a road bike rider and you go, shit, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing how it is to get off road, and you know, you may not bloody like it. So you go out, you buy this bloody bike, your magic beans have all been saved up, you hand them over and you get this shiny new bike, and then you go, wow, that cost me a bloody fortune. Shit, you've just made it, you got very little magic beans left, and then you go, shit, I've got to get a helmet, I've got to get boots, and they're all bloody expensive. So, I know a lot of people go, oh, you have to have this and you have to have that. It all depends on where you're riding. If you're just doing back roads and just, you know, simple trails and stuff like that, you don't need all this, like especially like the boots, even all the armor bits and pieces. It's only when you start, you know, upping the ante and getting into the gnarly stuff, that's when you start to need to have this stuff to protect yourself. And I tell you what, it does protect. I've come off so many bloody times wearing this gear. There's so many times I can. There's just certain things I know with the Alistair. I'm going up this hill and I come off and everything goes into slow motion. I just remember seeing my hands going out in this dirt rocky. As I was going down, I'm going, oh my god, this is gonna hurt. And I went down, and of course I had gloves on, and it was just funny. I just picked myself up and I went, shit, you know, that didn't bloody hurt me. You know, falling off to the side and the left. When you've got all this gear on, you just pick yourself up and you are just absolutely sweet. But, to get into it, so boots, get a pair of those. So as long as you've got your ankles covered, you've got your steel toe, there's nothing wrong with using them. You can pick them up for 60 bucks from Kmart, just your cheap pair. Helmets, you can pick them up for, I don't know, I think 130 bucks is the cheapest that I've saw. Obviously, as long as they're the government, you know, the dot rated or whatever they are, you're sweet. You don't have to get the latest, greatest fucking $500 helmet. I think this one was most probably $300. I moved to this one. I've had the cheaper ones. This was just super light. Just the difference in it was bloody great. Protective gear. Put a pair of jeans on. You might be a road bike rider and you have the Kevlar line one. Chuck those on. Go to somewhere like MX Store. They have knee guards and shin guards that you can just strap on. What was it? I can't remember. It was so cheap. I couldn't believe it. It was like, I don't know, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, around that thing, just to get a pair of those. Then you're sweet. You just don't have the hip pads, but that's enough, I think. And then with the top, you can have whatever bloody jacket you want. Get onto eBay, most probably an MX Store. I didn't see them on there, but you know when you watch those futuristic movies and the soldiers have the armor stuff. Basically, that's like MX armor stuff that they're wearing. I've noticed and I've seen on some movies, and I go, oh, I know what that bloody armor is. eBay, you can pick that stuff up like 17 bucks. And I had one, I've given it to Johnny, so I don't have it here to show you. They've got the same one that I had when I first started out, and it's just basically like a mesh liner, and then it has all the armor stuff attached to it. So you just chuck it on, and hey presto, you are set to go. So you can really get into the dual sport adventure scene without having to go to the expense of all this gear, and see if you like it. And then as you go along, you can then upgrade to the better stuff. You know, and you might be going, well, what about, Mark, when it rains or whatever? Buy a cheap bloody raincoat to go, oh, that'll fit over that rain, that armour. Simple, easy, cheap. Rightio guys, so that's it. That's the stuff that I wear and my thoughts on people wanting to get into doing this and having half decent protection. You can do it on the cheap. Righto, so I've got Max already. You see that funny thing along the back there? That's the bow and arrow. I've got Peter coming up on the T700 today. He should be getting here pretty bloody soon, I think about 11 o'clock. We're going to head out into the Bendigo tracks, do a bit of track riding, pull up at the Bowman. There's a place that you can go out there and shoot bow and arrows at targets and all that kind of stuff. So should be a pretty fun day. Alright guys, remember, keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on.